Hi, friends. Happy Friday. Many of you know that, fixing my hair here, that I've been moving and my hands have been in and out of boxes. There's a message I've been wanting to share with you for a couple of days, but it wasn't feasible to get on here and make it happen. And also, within about 2.5 weeks, I'll start doing YouTube lives so we can have live interaction, certainly through comments, potentially through a phone line. I haven't worked that piece out just yet. But some of the things we're going through right now on the planet and shifting into the new reality, uh, we need to support each other. It's all different. And it's real easy to get pulled back into the past and the way things used to work and trying to default to those old structures to create our life moving forward. And that's not going to work. So I want to do my part to support and be available to folks while we're making these transitions, which are really, in my point of view, incredibly exciting. I'll put that aside for a moment. I want to share with you that the first week of September, I'm offering a free 8-week course, Magnetism and Manifestation, Mastering the Law of Attraction. Just the way we're creating and receiving right now is different. And those who have been working with the law of attraction for some time, now's the time to really fine tune and look at the nuance of your process, because in this new reality, the way the energy is now, you have to be able to use the law of attraction. You simply have to. We're really up leveling in that way. So I wanted to offer this course, and for anyone who might need it. And the only thing that will be required is that you sign a waiver, because much of it will be on video camera. You don't have to be, but the lessons and I will be teaching via Zoom. And at some point next year, I will offer that class for sale. So I need to have your release to do that. But in the meantime, we can spend 8 weeks together and I can help everyone move their process forward, which is what I truly want to be able to do. Okay, that being said, announcements out of the way, let's get to it. I've been calling August the manifestation month because of the nature of the energy and how much space there is this month. And it's the most spacious month of the year. And space is what I always look for when I'm making predictions. That's where there's room for things to come in. And so those of you who've been looking for work, looking for a relationship, trying to make something happen, this is really the month to give it that little extra nudge. I know many of you are really tired and worried, and you've got quarantine fatigue and COVID overload and all that kind of stuff. And it can be easy to just give up. So you want to work with that energy to separate yourself from the give up energy. And again, put yourself out there, resend the resume, make those phone calls again, take action, expand your business, do something that adds something to the situation you are in. And you will find that the universe does give back this month. The one thing about August energy, however, if you're not already seeing it, it's very choppy. I liken it to being on a boat on the ocean when it starts to get choppy, and the boat still goes, but you're kind of bang, 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 hitting those waves. That's a little bit like August. So we can move forward, but there are a lot of things we're still contending with. So what I recommend for that is really setting your intention at the get-go, seeing your project, your process from start to finish, and just seeing it being smooth and all obstacles being resolved as benevolently as possible, and lean into what I want to say is, being in the driver's seat. If you just move forward without a thought to all the pieces moving through, you're more likely to get hit by the flying debris of life. And you may anyhow. It's just the nature of the energy right now as we're reorganizing into this new reality. There's just a lot that goes on in this process. So with COVID, and and what I'm really getting from this whole process, and let me, for those of you, this might irritate some of you, but I am really encouraging everyone to stay away from the news and the television. It's one of the things I've become acutely aware of since about March is there's a lot of agendas out there, and agenda translates to programming. And when we are programmed with information, especially on a 24-hour news cycle where it's repetitive, it's very easy to become programmed. And in this type of reality that we're moving into, we have to be able to hear our inner voice. We have to be able to connect to our navigation system to know what the right course of action, the right direction, the right choice is for us. We cannot, even in these times, we cannot defer to an outside voice. Now, yes, I don't watch the news. I will read some news just enough so that I am informed to a certain level that I need to function. But I really take my cues from higher wisdom. And what I have to say about that is, even though there's quarantine fatigue and it's been quite a year for many, this has been one of the best years of my life in recent memory. Things have been really good for me. And I think the difference is that I am not plugged into this external reality in the way many other people are. I'm tuned into the reality on this side that doesn't understand limitation. It doesn't work in a limited environment. And so I've found things to be pretty good. And I'm mostly extraordinarily optimistic and excited for what the next phase and cycles of life have to offer. So I'm just going to say, if that doesn't piss people off, stay away from the news, stay away from the TV, and really be protectors of your energy, and really make people and information earn a spot in your consciousness, in your awareness, before you align with it. Because there's a lot of fear out there, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and it does create fatigue on a certain level. But if you are replenishing with higher wisdom, if you're replenishing with insight and creativity that still remains accessible on so many levels, you'll be able to counterbalance whatever's happening in the external reality. So I hope I'm being clear with that, and that you find, or you at least have permission to do you in the world, right? And I'll leave it at that. And and this again is why I'm looking forward to the YouTube lives, because we can comment or dialogue on the phone or whatnot. And if you have a question about your own circumstance, you can feed that to me, and we can kind of go back and forth about how you know when you're attuned to your higher wisdom versus being programmed by external voices. And it remains more important than ever, because the energy is changing so much, and it's really delicious. I love to use the term fertile soil, because that's what I feel like we're in. I think even with a client this past week, I said something about it's like the Ferrari where you just step on the accelerator, it just takes off. We're in energy like that, and I think August reflects that as well, that little adjustments give a big bang to your buck, and this is the new reality. And the more you can operate from this position, let's say upper chakras, where you're higher vision as opposed to lower chakras, the better off your creations are going to be, the better off you're going to feel. And the other message that came through this week really has to do with the more you stay aligned with what used to be, how you used to get your information, how you used to go about creating employment opportunities, how you used to go about finding a relationship. The more you default to the used to way, the harder it's going to be for you. That you really have to start giving yourself to a new way of doing business in your life. You just have to. And I won't say that like starting my YouTube channel, that's a kind of a new way of doing business for me. I mean, I've been doing radio for many, many years, but doing something on video, which isn't my favorite, but it just seems like the thing to do. And it came to me in part because I'm just staying with the flow of what higher consciousness is asking me to do and what feels right to me creatively. I'm in touch with my own inner navigation. So I'm encouraging all of you to be in touch with your inner navigation, listen to those voices, to those callings, allow yourself to expand in new ways, try different things, try things you've never tried before, or invest in things that you haven't, that maybe you've wanted to, but haven't done. And that is the energy of the new paradigm. And it's almost like it will pull you in and you will be shown your next steps as you take them. But going back to the old way of doing things, it just simply won't work. You know, status quo energy will not work. Maintaining the status quo. We're all being called to rise into our highest selves, our best selves. And those who are energy workers or are spiritually oriented, I mean, you're ahead of the game, quite frankly, to people who don't have that awareness yet or can claim it. So look to the next, certainly the next week, probably up until I would say the 15th, 16th, then the energy shifts again. It's pretty rocky, it's pretty bumpy, but again, it is moving forward. It's just kind of you're hitting things along the way, but you can absolutely make progress and should. And, you know, I'll certainly talk about the other months of the year as we get closer, because there is a lot of thickness to energy, the balance of the year. But enjoy this weekend, enjoy August energy, you know, fill up as much as you can. And a final word to separate from external programming, separate from it. It's not doing you any favors. You want to be able to hear your voice and follow your connection to Divine Mother. All right, now, if you have any questions or anything else you'd like me to comment on, feel free to email me and I'll include that in future sharings, okay? Have a wonderful weekend. I love you. Take care.